Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into a massive, fundamental shift in the mechanics of what you actually watch online. I mean, if you think highly tuned computer code is the only thing deciding what pops up on your screen every morning, well, brace yourself. We're unpacking some absolutely fascinating source material today, and it's basically claiming that we're witnessing the end of an era in digital media.
Okay, so just picture your YouTube homepage in your mind for a second. Who really controls what you see on there? For years, the answer was, you. You interact with this highly responsive piece of code, you click, you watch, the code learns, and the algorithm adapts to you. But the source material we're looking at today presents a deeply provocative premise. It actually suggests that the invisible hand guiding your digital experience, it's no longer just some neutral code crunching your personal preferences.
In fact, the source text makes this incredibly bold, heavy statement right out of the gate, quote, "the death of the algorithm." Now, to be clear, the author isn't saying that code is literally broken, right? Rather, they're arguing that traditional behavior-driven algorithmic curation, that whole system that learns what you like and gives you more of it, is effectively over. So let's unpack exactly why they're making this massive claim.
Section 1. Death of the algorithm, the end of an era. Moving on to Section 2. Inside the UK Media Act, the legislative catalyst.
So what exactly is causing this massive shift? Well, it's not some quiet terms of service update buried by Silicon Valley. It's actually a government law. The source points directly to the UK Media Act, which protects very specific players, specifically government-designated channels. We're talking about legacy broadcasting giants here, like the BBC and ITV, being granted a special, legally mandated status right there in the digital space. This creates an absolutely massive power flip. On one side, you have the old way, right? Algorithmic merit, where a video surfaced simply because viewers like you actually clicked on it. But on the other side is the new way, legislative mandate. So instead of the platform asking what you want to watch, the law is essentially telling the platform what it must show you. According to the text, the Act legally requires pushing these designated channels straight to the front of the line. Just imagine, say, walking into a huge library where the government has demanded certain books be placed on the counter right in front of you, way before the librarian even has a chance to suggest books based on what you actually like to read. The author argues that is exactly what is happening to your feed.
Which brings us to Section 3, the viewership battle, the struggle for eyeballs.
Now, you might be wondering, why is this legislation happening right now? Well, according to the author, old media giants are actively losing the battle for viewership. Traditional television networks are basically bleeding audiences to the digital space. And because they can't compete purely on merit and clicks anymore, the source argues that they desperately needed a completely new strategy to ensure their survival.
That leads into Section 4, the lobbying campaign, rigging the game. Here, the source outlines this genuinely fascinating and honestly pretty aggressive three-step playbook. Step 1, lose the organic viewership battle on open platforms. Step 2, realize you can't beat the algorithm, so, you deploy lobbyists instead. And Step 3, successfully alter the laws in your favor. Essentially, the text claims they entirely bypass the meritocracy of the internet by going straight to the lawmakers.
And the author really doesn't mince words here, stating that these old media giants are, quote, using lobbyists to rig the game. So this isn't framed as just some standard regulatory update. No, the source explicitly labels it as a deliberate manipulation, one designed to artificially prop up legacy media.
Let's hit Section 5, your new YouTube feed, a hijacked homepage.
Let's bring this all the way back to your personal screen. The crucial takeaways from this text are that the UK Media Act essentially hijacks the natural flow of your platform. Networks like the BBC are legally forced to the front of the line, completely ignoring your personal viewing habits, all in a system the author claims was rigged by lobbyists. Ultimately, it's a narrative of legacy TV using government power to literally rewrite the internet's architecture.
Which brings us to our final big thought for today. Will this legislation actually save old media? Or is forcing designated content to the front of our screens just going to push audiences further away to other apps? Think about it. If the algorithm is truly dead, replaced by government legislative mandates, what does that mean for the future of discovering independent creators? It's a pretty profound question raised by this material, and one that absolutely challenges us to examine the forces dictating the content presented to us every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, guys. And as always, keep questioning what's really behind your feed.